Hola a todos, bienvenido una vez más a mi canal. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I've got a little bit of a different video. As you can see by the title, I'm going to be talking about how I got my Spanish student visa. And how I am officially a legal resident here in Spain. Quick disclaimer before I start this video, I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not gonna bash the embassy, I'm not gonna bash the process porque me encanta España, la gente, la cultura y todo, y no quiero, I don't want anything that's gonna affect that, so you get what I'm saying? This is gonna be a bit of an informative video because I can't lie, COVID and Brexit messed us up. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Quick background about me, I'm living in England, British passport, everything like that. So I'm coming from like a British perspective. We're not used to doing visas. Brexit. Okay, I have a list here because the process, it was something. I'm gonna take you guys step by step what you need to do for each process. I started the application process in May 2021. I got my visa in end of August 2021, and I flew out September 2021. So everything you hear and in this video is applicable to this time. It might have changed by the time you're watching this. I don't know. Hopefully it's changed and it's easier. But I'm here for a year, so I did the long stay visa, and I'm gonna walk you through everything I did. I can't lie, I spent a lot of money. If you want to know exactly how much I spent, message me on Instagram, and if you're doing the process I can let you know. But hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Yeah. But I'm going to take you through the process. The first step is your visa form. This is just to kind of like, it's like an application form. It's pretty simple to fill out. It's just like your name, your passport number, what you're gonna do. So it's very, very easy. And they have an English version and a Spanish version on the visa website. Please, when you're applying for your visa, just follow the government website. I mean, you can read articles and stuff like that, but the government website's going to have the most up-to-date and most helpful things, so just fill that out. A quick pointer about this, I think they do ask for your address in Spain, and by the time I was applying for my visa, I actually did have my place already, so I put that on there. But I think they are pretty lenient in the sense that if you haven't got your apartment or wherever you're staying yet, then it's fine. Point number 2 is a passport photo. We're starting off very simple. Passport photo, you can go literally anywhere and just get a passport size photo. You might even have some at home already. Make sure you have copies of it, so maybe when you print it off, they normally give you 4. Take all 4 with you. Please, everything I say, just take it and take a copy of it as well, because they want everything. They literally want everything. Number 3 is a valid passport. So say you're going to study in Spain in September and your passport expires in October. It's a valid passport, but I don't think they're going to allow it. Normally, the general rule is that you have 6 months left on your passport. But obviously, if you're going there for a year, you're going to need longer than 6 months. So just make sure that your passport is renewed and everything is fine. They also want every single page of your passport printed. Whether it's blank, whether it's not, they want every single page. So make sure you photocopy nothing blurry, nothing like, they're very, very strict with this. Like, I'm gonna get into it, but a lot of us got rejected. Like, not that our application was rejected, but they just said it's not complete, come back. So make sure you have every single page of your passport printed. Point number 4 is your reason for studying in Spain. So obviously I'm here at university under an Erasmus program, so I just brought my acceptance letter with me. But oh my god, do you know what's something you need to have? You need to have the dates in your acceptance letter. So in my acceptance letter, it was like, she's studying in the academic year of 21-22. This is not specific enough. It had to say the 13th of September 2021 to that. Like, you need to make sure that the dates are on there. And if your Spanish uni don't have it, email them like, please, I need my visa, make sure that the dates are in there. And if they can, just put Erasmus in. Like, any information that you can put in there, make sure you put in there, because I promise you, the embassy, they're not very lenient at all. Point number 5 is your financial means. So they want to basically know that, okay, you're going to study in Spain, you're going to live in Spain, do you have the financial means? So as a British student, I do get student finance. So I just brought my student finance acceptance letter with me. And they also asked for like 6 months worth of bank statements. And I mean, as a student, you can imagine what the bank account was saying. But I think they just wanted to see that like transactions were happening and that you have enough money. I don't know. But I printed off 6 months worth of bank statements. And I went to my bank because in like on the website about what you need for the visa, they say it needs to be stamped by the banks, but a lot of UK banks, they don't really stamp things anymore. So she just kind of signed it for me, and that was okay. But I bought my student finance and my bank statements because I was not taking any chances. Number 7 is medical insurance. Let's talk about this. As a university student, I can only speak for my university. We were covered with travel insurance. Listen, it said medical insurance, but we were covered with travel insurance that included medical expenses. You can already see like the problem with that. So like the Spanish embassy, they want to see 30, again, this is only applicable to my time, 30,000 euros, like minimum, and like a clause that like, obviously God forbid, that if you die, your body can be taken back to the UK. It's called like repatriation, I don't know say the English word for it, of death. So our university, it covered that, but they were not accepting that. I was like, look what the insurance my uni are giving me. They said, no, you need private medical insurance or you need a GHIT card. So obviously I had an EHIT card, which basically stands for European Health Insurance Card, but because of Brexit, that's not valid anymore. So they were either like, have your GHIT card plus your uni cover or private medical insurance. The GHIT people, again, I'm not here to bash anybody, but if you want a GHIT card, just make sure you get it 5 months in advance because they're not very quick at all. So I had to get private medical insurance. You can find like Spanish ones, so Sanitas, creo que está Sanitas, sí. You can get Sanitas or you can get like a UK based, medical insurance, and I'm sure it's fine. As long as you've got minimum of 30,000 euros and that little clause about death, then you're fine. They're all like different prices and stuff, so you just need to find whatever works best for you. Number 7 is to pay the fee at the embassy once your application is successful. That's pretty straightforward. I mean, a lot of us had to go back several times, so it was a while before we paid this fee. But the fee is £174 in August of 2021. I don't know what it is now, but it's £174 to get that visa. The next thing is your police accro certificate. That is basically like a certificate stating all of your past criminal records. Obviously, I don't have any criminal record, but I needed to write to the government. It's very easy to apply for it. You just go on the police accro website or the UK Gov and find that. I'm not gonna lie, £55, £95 if you want to express, just for it to come back and say that I don't have any, criminal record. But if that's what the Spanish people want, I'm gonna give them what they want. The next thing is a medical certificate. So I'm gonna link down below the website that tells you like what you want. So you needed like basically you needed like a set phrase saying that this person does not suffer from any serious medical health something stated in 2005 chart, or like is a lot. And my GP, again, I'm not here to out anybody, but my GP, all I can do is laugh because what they were trying to say to me is that I'd have to wait 8 to 10 weeks. I said to them, thank you very much, but I do not have 8 to 10 weeks. They said, wait 4 weeks. I said, thank you very much, but I do not have 4 weeks either. So because basically it's not NHS work, so they have to do it outside of their time. And doctors are busy. During COVID, I was doing this, so finally got that. Again, I had to pay. Each GP is different, but you have to pay for this medical certificate. Also, one thing I'd like to state is that your medical certificate and your police accro need to be Hague apostilled. What is the Hague apostle, you may ask? It basically is a certificate that justifies your certificate. Do you get what I mean? So for example, my police accro that showed my medical certificate, that showed my criminal history, it could be fake. It could be fake. So what you have to do is you have to send it off and they kind of legalize it so that the Spanish embassy know that this police certificate is real. Your medical certificate is real. Again, You have to pay for that. You have to pay for that. Again, I'm not gonna lie to you, the Hague Apostle was not quick. It took like 3 weeks. So I don't think I said at the start of this video, but please start your visa process early. I think the earliest you can start is 3 months before. Start exactly 3 months before, because there are a lot of people didn't get their visas in time. A lot of people came out as a tourist and had to go back to get their visa. So make sure you start as early as possible to avoid the stress that we all went through. I'm here to help you guys. So once you've got it legalized, it now needs to be translated. So I'm talking about the medical certificate and the police certificate. They now need to be translated into Spanish. And you can't just use any translator, by the way. The embassy literally have a list of translators that you have to use. Again, you have to pay for this. Please, if you do not have like the funds, make sure you start saving now, because there was a lot of hidden costs that went into applying for this visa that obviously we're not used to, because we used to have EU passports. We used to be able to come, no problem, to work, to study, but that's not the case anymore. So your medical certificate, your police certificate, you need to pay for it once you've received it. Also, wet signatures, please. No type signatures, no like PA signatures, wet signatures, otherwise rejected. I found that out the hard way. So once you've got that, get them legalized and then get them translated. Your legalization certificate comes in French, English and Spanish. So if you're going to Spain, you don't need to get that translated, but get the actual certificate itself translated. Translators are pretty quick, less than 24 hours, but again, el dinero, they cost money. So that's basically, I try to keep this video short. I've kind of gone through like each stage that you need to go through to get your visa. In terms of general tips, just make sure you start early. When you get to the embassy, it is a bit of a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie to you, there is a lot going on. But once you do have everything ready, you can send an email. I advise you to send an email even before you have your documents ready, because I promise you they're not gonna reply. I sent an email end of May. End of June, they were like, okay, come in. Obviously, I didn't have my documents, so I had to kind of push it back. But a lot of people had a lot of problems with them just not replying, so you just have to be persistent. Literally, if you have to email them every day, obviously I'm not advising that you do that, but just make sure you're persistent with it, because going there, they'll tell you to go away. Calling them, they'll say no, so it's all about an email system. They'll come, you have to come for your appointment. Literally, I had all of my stuff like in a folder, and I was like, number 1, number 2, number 3. It's literally 15 minutes. They approved it, and then I went to go and pay my visa fee, £174, and then they were like, we'll email you when your visa's ready. Again, took another month for my visa to be ready. That's why they honestly start as soon as possible. But that's basically the process to get your Spanish student visa. I know work is different. This is a long stay visa, so it includes the police report and the medical certificate. If you're only going for 1 semester, I don't think you need this unless it's changed. I don't know if it's changed, but you should be okay. Again, if you do have any questions, please message me on Instagram. That's the best way to message me. I will help you through your process. I mean, I'm not anyone special. I'm just a student. Out here, but I went through the process during a pandemic and post-Brexit. We were the first year to do this post-Brexit, so I can give you as much help as I can. And now, on to the good bit. Like, what do you do when you've actually got your visa? You've touched down in Spain, whether it's Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, wherever you are, Spanish son, what do you do? You've got your visa now, but technically you're not a resident here in Spain. Like, it's very complicated. You're not a resident. So you need to get something which is called the Padrón or empadronamiento. It's basically to prove that you live in Spain, like you're at a registered home address. So obviously I'm in Alcalá de Henares, which is in the Comunidad de Madrid. So I had to go to my town hall with a form that was on the website, which is just basically your name, your passport number, where you're staying, like the address, your rent agreement signed by you and your landlord, and my passport. So I went there with that. Very, very simple. Again, I did it during the COVID time, so I had to book an appointment online. Again, I know a lot of people are struggling to find appointments. We're going to talk about the TA, which is another process that was very difficult to find an appointment, but I'm going to talk about that. So you go there and you get like, it's lit, I promise you, it's just a piece of paper that just says you're registered at this address until this date, you live in Madrid or you live wherever in Spain. And then on to the TA, which is the Tarjeta de Identificación Extranjero. I think you can look up what it means if you want to know what it means, but it's basically your residency card to prove that you are now a legal resident aquí in España. So because we're outside of the EU, we don't have to get the NIE, which is, so the NIE is like the N, they just have to get a number, but because we're non-EU citizens, we have to get an actual card. This process, oh my goodness, I've got a separate list for that because that is a lot. So they tell you that you're supposed to get it within the first 30 days that you arrive in Spain. Quick disclaimer, no one can do it within 30 days. I mean, there are some people, I did it within 31 days, but I know because they don't give, like, they refresh their appointments every 2 weeks. So you go there, there's nothing. You go there again 2 weeks later, there's nothing. That's your 30 days kind of gone. So that they kind of, I'm not going to say they ignore the rule, but they ignore the rule. The reason why a lot of these appointments do just, you know, there are none of them is because Spanish people are also applying for their NIE. It's basically their identity number. Like, yeah, the identity number, they use it for everything. Driver's license, get a job, anything. They ask you, what's your NIE, or TA for us, because we have an actual card. But I'm gonna go through that process. I'm gonna be back to get my list. Vale, aquí lo tengo mi list. I have my list and I'm going to read it for you. So you need confirmation of your appointment. I live in Alcalá de Henares, but there was no appointments in Alcalá de Henares, and there was no appointments in Madrid. So I had to go to Torrejón de Ardoz. Torrejón de Ardoz. Very difficult to pronounce. It's like 20 minutes away from Alcalá, but it's still in the Comunidad de Madrid, so I could go there. Next, I needed again my passport and every copy of the pages of my passport. So again, a lot of printing. There's a lot of printing involved in all of this. Passport size photo, standard. That's why I said take all 4 with you. Once you get them printed, just keep all of them. Don't throw them away. You're going to need them. Your empadronamiento. So once you've got your padrón, so that's why I always do your padrón first, because they ask for it at your TA appointment. So take a copy of that. You need the EX17 form, which is basically a form that's like your name, what you're here to do. It's just basically an application form, I think. Again, Spanish government website, have it for you in English, have it for you in Spanish, whatever you prefer, you can get that there. Okay, next you needed a tax form. Personally, I do not know what this tax form was for. I think it was like you need to pay, like nothing in life is free, so you had to pay for it. So the tax form was basically you paying for your TA or your NIE. So I know the NIE is about 12 euros. The TA was 15 euros and 92 cents. So I have a Spanish bank account, but if you don't have a Spanish bank account, it is fine. You can get, you can do it. So you have to go to a bank, you have to pay. I paid in cash with the exact change, and they stamped it for me. I was like, okay, she's paid, she's done it. I went to my TA appointment and I had that form with me, and they were fine. And now for the actual appointment. So I go there, obviously we're in a pandemic, you need an appointment for everything. I go there and they're like, they call my name, and then she's like, you don't need one. I'm like, I do. She's like, Brexit. I said, I know. Or she was like, you're from the UK. I was like, I know, Brexit. She's like, oh. So she went through all my documents, and then she was like, because I had to bring my acceptance letter, which is like proof of why I'm in Spain. And she was like, this is an acceptance letter. There's no proof that you've accepted it, that you've been enrolled. I was like, what do you want me to do? Like, I have a university like student ID, but if you don't have that, if you have an Erasmus card, like anything that proves that you study at the uni, make sure you have that. She also got onto me because my documents were in English, like my acceptance letter was in English, but I didn't know they wanted it in Spanish. So a quick tip, if you can, get it translated into Spanish, probably by a translator. Don't do Google Translate. She was, I don't know, the woman I got was a bit pushy. She was also saying like, where's the proof that I've paid? I was like, you talking about the tax form, the 15 euros? She's like, no, proof that you paid for your tuition. I was like, I'm an exchange student. Like, she was like, I'm Erasmus. She was like, oh. I was like, yeah, I'm not paying 9k in Spain. I'm paying 9k in the UK. But everything was fine. They took my fingerprints as well. Part of the process is to take your fingerprints. And then basically, you wait for 30 days and you get your TIE. And now you're officially a resident aquí en España. Vives en Madrid. Vives en España. Yeah. So that's basically the whole process I went through. A lot of people don't know that I went through this. Like, a lot of us British students here in Madrid, like, we understand and sympathize with each other because, I mean, I've done this video, but you guys do not understand the stress that we went through. Like, to the point where they weren't answering our emails, to the point where they kept rejecting our applications. Like, we've gone through so much. So if you're watching this video and you got your visa in, like, 2021, well done to you. I know we've gone through a lot. I've basically covered the main things. I didn't want this video to be too long, so I just wanted to have the main information. Hopefully I haven't missed anything out, but if I'm going to watch it back, I'm going to edit it. And then if I have missed something out, I'll try and put it in the description box or the comments or something like that. But that is basically the process of getting your Spanish student visa and becoming officially a resident here in Spain. So now, vivo aquí. Soy de Madrid. Soy madrileña. No, I'm joking. But that was basically the process. Thank you for watching. I hope this video has been helpful. I wish I had something like this because we were basically the first year to just try and, figure this out ourselves. We did not know what we were doing. Our unis did not know what they were doing. The embassy, I don't think they knew either because COVID was just messed everything up. Brexit messed everything up ×2. But we made